Just as the light begins to change upon your face, you are asking me why I keep on writing. For this, I have 6 reasons. 1, because we are a collection of fragile bodies. We are broken-winged, and there is a mystery in the way our feet welcome the ground when we walk, but this miracle will keep on forsaking us until we learn how to feel something again. You know, our souls have grown tired when we do not see the beauty in a changing of the weather. 2, the best days are the ones when I am moved to feel something, anything, when the thickening of atmosphere compels the breath from my lungs and words come with it, when the soft cadence of church bells echoes from far away and beckons me into this mystery that looks like words and sounds like music. A radio is always playing in an empty room somewhere. 3, from the moment we are born, we are a compilation of everything we will ever be. And every hour we are dying. Every triumph, every kiss, every poem is expiring a little bit of brilliance. Is an expression of something that is worth living for. Every breath is like a hero coming home from war, and there must be someone to speak of the beauty in our careful dying. 4, I hear a train from my 3rd-story window whistling late into each night, and it seems I am the only one to find some measure of sanctity in it. It means that someone, somewhere is coming home, that after all the music ends, there rests a promise you will not sleep alone, and with the weight of glory, it is etching chasms into the earth. We are stitching them back together with our own fingers. 5, we can rest in knowing that the features of our faces are writing memoirs every day. Like the first day that winter you told me I was beautiful. It was written all over your eyes like some long-kept secret. Yes, your vow was in the way that you looked at me. Mine was in words I never wanted you to see, but they are coming out now, in the only way that I know how. 6, I found my calling in a poem when I was 18. And that poem told me that I must protect everything inside me that is begging to be made known. I write because I long to see something eternal escaping from these tired hands that are not my own. Because our broken-winged bodies envelop a beauty that mine cannot contain anymore. So I will leave you with this promise. There is someone out there worth writing for. Thank you. In this poem I've just performed, I attempt to explain in an unconventional and beautiful way why I've kept up my writing for so many years. And though ideally you've already gotten a taste of this from the poem itself, I'd like to talk just a bit more about why this is so. However, I will not be able to do this justice without beginning with some words from my favorite poem, which even helped to inspire my own. Pablo Neruda once wrote, "So through me, freedom and the sea will call in answer to the shrouded heart." These 2 simple lines conclude Neruda's poem titled Poet's Obligation, in which he describes exactly that, the duty that he feels as a poet. And using very real images of tired and jaded people, as well as vivid metaphors of the sea, Neruda portrays the power of poetry to transform life's most mundane moments into something remarkable. In this way, the sea becomes not just the object of beauty in the poem, but the forceful entity that compels him to keep on writing about it. And in this way, Neruda describes to his readers why he did what he did, why he picked up his pen day after day to chronicle his early morning reflections, his most trivial experiences, and even his encounters with life's greatest complexities. I have felt bound by Neruda's words for so many years because I too feel this poet's obligation. When I witness something beautiful or I stumble upon some shadow of life's truth, I feel compelled to make it known beautifully and poignantly. I too want to call an answer to the shrouded heart, but you see, it's a delicate relationship. I write to make known the beauty and the truth, yet it is these two elements themselves that compel me to keep on doing it. In high school, I followed some of my friends into a room of students who called themselves the literary rogues. And at first, I didn't know what to do with myself. These kids liked poetry, and they were very good at it. But until that day, I had thought of poetry as only perhaps an antiquated art form, or an assignment to analyze in English class, but never as something uniquely valuable. But that day, I was awakened to a new type of poetry, spoken word, which has changed the way I see the genre. And as I wrote my first poem, I was captivated. But let me be clear, that first poem was terrible. I'm pretty sure the first 100 of them were. Yet, I soon began to self-identify as one of these rogues. I could not tear myself away from this art form because for the first time, I learned what it meant to make music out of words and to communicate truth. In this way, I see poetry as a creative vessel in the expression of truth. And in this sense, it's a language that is universal among all people. I'm sure most of you would not consider yourself to be poets, but I'd be willing to bet that a good poem still makes you feel something. And in this way, when I write, my goal is not just to achieve beauty, but to do justice to some element of life's truth. But this is not always an easy task. To take a sentiment of my heart and to mold it into words just right so that it may also speak to your hearts. This is the challenge that writing fundamentally becomes. And here we can see it is both truth and dare woven intricately together. This is the reason why for years I've not been able to stop. I used to write only for myself to see, but with some persistent prying and encouragement, of course, from people close to me these past few years, I've found myself at places like this. 6 years ago, when I wrote that terrible poem, I never would have pictured myself on this stage. But I've begun to share more of what I do because I see the immense value in beautiful words and in truth, and because I want people to see this the same way that I do. Because these words deserve to be heard and to be expressed, and because there will always be someone out there worth writing for.